We begin with breaking news this hour. At least 3 people have been killed in an explosion outside the U.S. Embassy in the Turkish capital. One of the dead is a suicide bomber who detonated an explosive device as he was trying to enter the building. More details now from RT's correspondent Paula Sleer, who joins us live. Paula, what is happening? What is the latest out of the Turkish capital?
Well, the latest information we have comes from Turkish police, who say that 3 people have been killed. They include the suicide bomber, a security guard, as well as a Turkish citizen who was a member of the staff at the American embassy. Now, according to eyewitnesses, there was this massive bang. There are also plumes of smoke that have been erupting outside of the American embassy. Initial reports do say that the blast occurred near the gates of the visa section of the embassy. Now, we understand that all American embassy staff have been taken to safe rooms inside the embassy. There are dozens of ambulances as well as emergency personnel at the scene. We know of at least 1 woman who was taken away and who is in, we're being told, a critical condition. The police have cordoned off the area. They're keeping journalists away from the scene. This blast did happen in a part of Ankara where there are several other embassies, including that of Germany as well as of France. Now, we are also being told that the explosion caused no damage inside the embassy itself, but it did cause extensive damage to the outside wall. There are no reports at this stage of any group saying that it is behind this attack, and it's not yet clear who indeed did carry out this attack and what their motivation was. But I want to mention that there are a number of illegal groups ranging from Kurdish separatists to leftists to Islamic militants who have launched attacks in recent years in Turkey. So you really have a wide range of options in terms of who could have carried this out. There has been no official statement yet from the Turkish authorities, although perhaps it's worth mentioning that prior to this explosion, the son-in-law of Osama bin Laden was arrested in the Turkish capital of Ankara.
Paula, it's becoming quite a common thing, these attacks on U.S. embassies in the region. Take us through some of the other recent attacks that we've heard and any possibilities as to why it's continuing.
Well, let's begin in Turkey. There are lots of people inside Turkey who are critical of the U.S. policy in the region, and it's not unusual to see protests accusing Washington of warmongering and also of seeking to intervene in Syria. And very often these protests in the past have taken place in front of the American embassy in Ankara, and there you do see a heavy riot presence dispersing any kind of popular protest. And that is why questions are already being asked now, how it was possible that if indeed it was a suicide bomber that entered the visa section and blew himself up, how this person was able to get that close into the embassy. You also have, in addition to this, violence from Syria that continuously spills across the border, and in the past artillery from Syria has killed Turkish civilians. What that means is that you have a whole host of groups who could be implicated or who could have carried out this attack. Back in September, there was that notorious mission in Benghazi in Libya where we had 4 American staff members killed, including the American ambassador. And then just a few days ago, you had Britain's Foreign Office warning of a potential threat against the British embassy in Tripoli. So what we are witnessing is a chain of events targeting Western embassies, not least of all the United States, that seems to be picking up momentum. And it is a reflection of the growing anger against Washington and other Western countries at a particularly unstable time in the region.
RT's Paula Sleer reporting live for us on this breaking news coming out of the Turkish capital. We, of course, will continue to follow the story. Paula, thanks for that.